Welcome back to We Have Amazing Friends, everyone. We are doing our first ever We Have Amazing Friends with an amazing friend that we've already had on the show before. We're just doing a checkup because Brandon and I are best buds on the internet. So what's going on, Brandon? How you doing, man?
The truth is, I actually ran out of amazing friends, and so you have to refill
I
the bottom of the barrel again.
don't have a lot of
Uh,
friends these days.
Everything's going well. So we had to close the channel down for a little bit, and we're back up now. I'm not in the swing of release yet, but I do have a lot of good content coming out, and some Ninja Turtle box unboxing and reviews and things like that coming out, but also just some movie stuff and taste testing. We just did Peeps for Easter. Peeps Pepsi. We call it Peepsy, and
Peepsy.
it was gross. Don't try it. But check out our video though.
Yeah, check it out. It's
Yeah,
a high anxiety. We'll link it as we always do. I put his name up on the screen, which is it's not his real name. His real name's not High Anxiety, but that's his channel. So be sure to check it out. I watch every episode.
thanks.
I like,
Uh,
comment, and subscribe.
like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. But yeah, so I kind of just want to since we're like Ninja Turtles focused here, I kind of want to just talk about like some of the things I've been doing. And one thing, I knew these existed. I knew these existed as an adult, but as a kid, I had no idea they existed. And when like the Ninja Turtle Facebook group started becoming popular and people were posting stuff, I was like, I saw that a few years ago and was just blown away. And I'm like, what is that? I had no idea that existed. And so now I'm on a conquest, and I have two right now. So I have to get the rest of them.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
I can't help it. Like I'm already all in, so I might as well just go broke. But Raphael I got him pretty cheap. He has some like damage on his bandana, so I'm gonna mix the color and kind of like repair it, get some of that putty stuff and fill it in and paint it. But now I'm on a giant kick. So now that I'm on a giant kick, I also found this out of at the Ohio Toy Show, which we have a video about that as well. So check that out. It's a lot of us just being stupid, but then we walk around. But I got this for $15.
Oh wow,
Uh, I think it's because
that's
it's
cheap.
missing a helmet and all the accessories, but it's just funny to see the size difference. And when you look at it, also like the head just seems really tiny, and I guess it's because they wanted to put the helmet on and make it look like a average size head or save cost or something. But I hate this, but I had to get it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I personally don't have as a Raphael collector. I don't have any of those anymore. I had the movie one that you were showing off, but I bought him. I bought him for like $20 at a actually the market that I went to this morning before we started recording. I bought him uh, a few years ago, and his he was missing a toe. A dog had bit off his toe,
Wow.
so I had that for a while, but I ended up just getting rid of it because it bothered the hell out of me. But yeah, I'm on a conquest as well to get the big ones, but the price has to be right. It's like one of those things
Yeah,
where you like to find the deals on them. They're not a necessity. I can see the background. We got the new NECA one, so
the giant
um,
ones up there, and then I have back here. I have my
yeah.
other one. So-
So not really a need to get the old ones right away,
But I do need them at
but
some
you
point.
need them in general. Yeah, I agree with that. So
So since we're still on Giants, I started getting the OG Giants as well. And Gary, you already know this, but I bought this without the belt, and I actually made this belt. And I actually like it better than what it originally came with. And I'm not doing this to like resell. I'm doing this for me, and um, but yeah, just so I took some faux leather material just from a craft store and just started figuring it out. And so I'm not finished with this one yet, but got his started. And then, of course, like Michelangelo and Raphael are the easiest ones because they just have the belt straight across. But um, I started painting this up. This was all green. It was all scratched up, and I mixed the color and got pretty close. But I'm struggling with, do I want to make it perfectionist and color in the green spot up here that is
that they never
left
paint. Yeah, that they never painted in general. Yeah, I
on it myself, or do I just make it as close to accurate as the original figure? I don't know.
yeah.
But this was actually the original one I got when I was a kid. That's just the nunchuck. The figure was long gone, but for whatever reason, I just knew I had this in my drawer, and I was like, I'm gonna go get that.
Yeah, hell
So
yeah,
now,
dude. At least you
yeah,
got
so
that
I,
original. Yeah, I mean on
yeah,
camera it looks legit. Like I mean people watching, at home or whatever, they probably can't tell that any of that was fabricated or fixed. So, did you reach out to me about that? Did we talk about that with the belts? Cuz I did one with the belt.
did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did when I did the one for Joey, Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
He sent me a Leo and he's like, "Can you just paint this up for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, 100%." And I painted it in this like bright pink and green. And then I just went one extra step and I made a custom belt. I did a one strap. It was a weird one strap. I did the leather with one
That's
strap.
that's what I want with this. Like I never liked the crisscross. I
Yeah.
never liked. So like if I'm in a spot where I'm like, you know what, I don't care. I kind of want to do like a double strap going this way or something, and
Yeah.
uh, 'cause yeah, I don't need it to be childhood perfect. I just need it to be like I just want to like it and love it, and
Yeah.
I do.
And that's
Uh,
the whole point. It's I have a couple of figures in my collection that aren't perfect, I guess you could say. Like there's a couple of little custom pieces on them that just kind of make them pop and it look better on the shelf. And that's what you want. You want to look at it on your shelf. You want to appreciate it, and like knowing that you put in that extra work into it. That's what really matters. I think that's awesome. Those look great. Like on camera, they look awesome. So good
yeah,
job on those, dude.
I definitely see my faults and flaws here, but yeah, I just I really wasn't even gonna get them ever until they started doing the new ones, the new giants. But I can't get those. I just can't. It's just on principle alone. I can't get those. So I was like, those now, and
I have those. I bought them.
I know.
I bought a set, and then Playmates sent me a set.
Yeah, I
So
know. Um, just
that was
another
great.
thing. I started doing my own April takeover, and I just made a giant April unboxing video because I realized I never opened the original 90 figure from NECA. This is the signature edition. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I kind of want to just get rid of it. Um, but yeah, I have that still. But I was saving this because I ended up doing a custom of April, and I don't have the head on yet, so she looks a little long necked. But I made uh I made her look like the toon version.
Oh,
I
that's
took a
awesome.
ball, huh?
So that's awesome. Is that the Ripley body?
Yeah, it's one of the Ripley bodies. So again, the head's just kind of sitting on there right
Yeah.
now. So I'm gonna whittle it down a little bit, and but yeah, I was really proud of this. But yeah, so I just have a nice little Toon April on the shelf now, and then I found, um, she should be easily findable.
Yeah. God forbid NECA's consistent with their ball pegs on their heads.
You know, and this one, I want to do this one next and paint it like the Mirage style, like the blue jumpsuit.
Oh yeah.
But I have to like the color of the skin does not match on this one. But yeah, I kind of want to paint this blue and have it be the Mirage style and just have different kind of Aprils up here because I don't know, like I was in my video that you'll if you watch it, you'll see that like I appreciate how like photo or movie close they are to the movie, but like I hate the clothes. And I'm like, I don't like these outfits don't do anything for me. And
Yeah.
I start realizing like April's on the farm and she's wearing high heels and a skirt, and I'm like, what? Like if I'm on a farm, I'm gonna be barefoot and wearing shorts.
Yeah. Not to
So
mention they're a pain in the ass to stand up in your collection. They like to tumble a lot.
yeah,
I've
they
got a
have.
lot of I've got a lot of Aprils, but yeah, I've got one. I'm not gonna get up and get it because it's somewhere around here. But I did the Sarah Connor like
Oh
a
yeah.
year or 2 years ago, maybe. I painted up the Sarah Connor figure with yellow, and it looks pretty cool. It's like a badass April. She's carrying a shotgun. Uh,
Wow.
so I did that one along like I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe at this point, and then I did that one over the summer with the Casey Jones mask, where I took her
Mhm.
head and I put the Casey Jones mask on it and kind of made her into like a badass. I had someone had sent me a Farm 2 pack, another one, and I just worked on it and just dicked around with them. I ended up giving that to Judith, and she has that in her collection. And then Tom recently did a pair of shoes for her based off of her outfit that NECA did the figure on. And then we were supposed to send that Sarah Connor custom with it to her, but then Tom forgot, sent the shoes. Her father had passed away, so it's kind of been like kind of rough. We've just been giving her space, but that's going to go to her sooner or later because she likes those customs.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I love that she's like all in on that now, and but yeah, I want to just like the movie. Obviously, they're just following protocol, but yeah, like I love that she's got bullets in her little overalls over here, and so I'm gonna give her a nice big gun and just let her have some fun with some Foot Clan. And but yeah, I also uh, this is just dumb. I was just screwing around. I had an extra Casey head, so I was like, I'm gonna make a foot soldier Casey Jones, and
I got one of those too.
it's just so fun. It's
I
just
got I
like
did I did the unmasked head though. I bought so many Casey Jones figures. I have so many.
I wanted to
Um,
do it with the Danny head, but it's just that the proportions don't
dude, it's
work
so
out at all.
small. Yeah, that was the original plan. I've got one, two, three, four, five. I've got five Casey Jones figures in my display, and that's just what I have in my display. I've got two or three kicking around that are just chopped up.
Four, I guess if you count this, it's five. But yeah, I have
Yeah,
four Lantern.
I've got the OG release, I've got the Ultimate release, and then I've got the Farm release. I put the head on like the foot soldier body as you have there, and then um, I did the farm one, and then I put the jacket over or the vest over him just as an alternative look, just for the
Yep.
hell of it. And yeah, and then I've got a couple of customs floating around here somewhere that are in boxes that I never finished. Well, I finished one and it broke. I did a custom repaint of I did a Playmates colorway on a Casey, which came out really cool. But then I dropped it. His leg snapped off, so now it's like it's got a screw in it to try to hold it in place. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've tried and failed to repair a few NECA figures, and I just it's like one of those things I'm gonna do. I'll do it eventually. I'll fix it eventually.
I've got one sitting here right now that was not even. I just glued the foot back on my very first Bebop. Before, right, the one that when the line started taking off back when COVID happened. This is the one
Yeah,
that became the hard set to get. It fell off my shelf and my foot snapped off. So now I just have him sitting here flexing on my
I love
desk.
that. I
Oh,
love that.
and
I
then
love that. That's hilarious.
yeah, and then like his little like shell piece that's like glued to his hip.
Yep.
That just randomly fell off the other day. I'm just sitting here and it fell off. But yeah, I like the fun little flex pose.
Yeah, I love that.
But
The,
I have so my good buddy Lee Howell lives over in China and he gets the prototypes and he's the one that keeps me up to speed on the stuff that's not released yet from Playmates and NECA, and he sells a lot of the people in the community prototypes. He gets them direct over there. He sent me a bunch of pieces, just a bag of pieces of the Bunny Bebop and the Bunny Rocksteady, where it's just like the head, the legs, the arms. I think there's one torso in there. I can build a figure, I think, but they're all like product tests. They're scuffed up as shit. It's almost like they made prints of them, painted them, and see how they would scuff up. I don't know. They look like our children, like when we were kids, our toys when they get all the paint marks on them. I got
that's incredible.
marks all over them. So I don't know. I've been thinking about like trying to like take this one apart, start putting pieces on it, like it's like Rocksteady getting into his bunny suit. So like mid bunny. I don't know.
Yeah. When speaking of like your Rocksteady and having like the shell come off, the Bebop that I have, I'm sure it's on most of them, but like the shoulder shells,
Yeah.
those are all like you can see the glue residue all where it came off, and it's disappointing. But I mean, it's the original. It's like the original wave, and
Yeah.
you can't fault it too much. And they've done so many different things since then and gotten better. But yeah, it's they've come a long way.
Yeah, I
The
did. I actually have one of those vests sitting on my floor, like
the Bebop.
literally over there. Yeah, the Bebop one, because I did a custom of the superhero ones, was it like just Super Bebop and Rhino Man or whatever the hell it is, or whatever the hell it
Right.
was. Yeah, when I did a
Right.
custom of those, I ripped all those pieces off, and I've got one sitting on my floor still. And yeah, like you said, those little the shells, they just come off. There's such a small contact point for any customizers out there who care. Just like a small contact point for the
Yeah.
glue. And apologies for my video. I turned my lights off today. I'm like blown out like crazy with the way the sun's blasting through my window. For everybody's watching and not listening, this is what it could look like. Fucking New York is a sunny day today.
But yeah, so I don't know if you can see this very well on mine. Let me see if I can get some light on it. But yeah, like it's just it's like it cannot stay there, and you pose it like it's wrapped around the wrist,
Yeah,
the arm, and it's on there, so it's just you have to. I don't know. You have to finagle it. I'm not really a fan of it, but
I do like that you went with that idea with the gun. I did the same thing. The
yeah, that's
Triceraton gun. That's
yeah.
the way
I
to
like
go. That's definitely, yeah. I did the same thing, and then my Rocksteady's got the rifle that came with, I think,
Yep.
one of the infantry guys or some shit. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Had to do that. They look great. They look awesome with those ones. Uh, so
Um, just unboxed all the the retroactive, the pre-mutation grunts and things like that. And as soon as I try to put a sword in one of the hands, it just completely broke off, and I was like,
is that this one?
yeah.
All right. Everybody's listening to this episode. I'll send you this, so don't let me forget. This is my
Oh
extra.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
sweet.
was gonna say, so I bought everything day one when we got it, the holothon stuff. I got everything, and I've been sitting here looking at my collection, and I never got a second Scrag, and I really wanted to, so I could do the mutated version of them. And
You
like
do it
space
too.
is so limited at this point, where it's like I don't really need to buy, extras of figures. For those who don't know me, I usually buy like two figures, sometimes three, because I'd like to use one for like photos and posing. My like the main one, I don't like to move the joints a lot. I like to give them a pose, set them on my shelf, leave them as is, because I don't want to I don't want them to loosen up from me always doing these crazy dynamic poses. And then it just feels better when you've got an extra one that like if I break it, it's not detrimental to your collection. Really, that's how my Rex One was. My Rex One had his like right arm, his elbow was like super stuck after I posed it. So I bought a second one. That was $50 fucking, and that's the one that I literally just all these different positions on the one the first one I bought. It's gonna snap the peg if I bend it anymore with the pose. Like it's just a bad build for some reason. But the second one I bought, buttery smooth. It was mint. It was perfect. I play with it all the time. But steer this goddamn ship home. I randomly bought two more sets of the gang just so I can display them in their mutated forms. And so now I'm like desperately trying to get a Scrag and not paying $130 for a Scrag for my shelf.
Yeah, I do want to have a Scrag. If I can, I'm gonna look for the. I do want to have the mutated customs set as well because right now I chose to go with the human form. I just think it looks cool to have that, and I can
Yeah.
give Zach a way to fight and things like that. But yeah, I mean, like these are too cool to not display, so I have to do that.
Yeah, I had that one. So originally, I had that one, that whole top piece, coming out of a trash can because it was like you couldn't see the legs, kind of looked cool. So like, we'll just have it come out of a trash can, kind of makes sense. But that's the one I hate. I don't like. That's the one I like the least, I guess we'll say, out of the whole thing with the swap. I don't like the way it looks with the skinny legs. I know it was cartoon accurate. I personally don't like that one. But when you really compare them to the other ones, it's the most creative one out of the set. I like the humans. I don't know, man. Like I'm definitely more leaning towards the humans.
Yeah, the humans are cool, and like this bothers me because I don't understand why the fur is different color.
Yeah, so it's a dog,
I
and
thought it was cloth.
I thought it was a sloth too. But I was watching an episode. Yeah, I was watching an episode the other day, or I was watching something that was breaking down the mutations,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be a dog, but then they said that they're pretty sure it's a dog and a sloth, so they got the sloth arms with the dog head. But I thought it was a sloth too.
Yeah, I mean those are like those are sloth claws.
Yeah, that's not a dog hand. So
Oh,
I
anyway,
I mean,
and
admittingly, I don't know if they ever really confirmed what it was in the cartoons. I'm like on season 2 of the cartoons. I've been slowly rewatching episodes so I can remember what stuff is. And
yeah,
that was like super early on, I think. I don't know.
but yeah, Scrag they did squash this face, right?
Yeah. Yeah, cuz the original one we saw was not cartoon accurate. That was just stylized.
This is cartoon
That's
accurate.
cartoon accurate.
No, I like the stylus better.
Stylized was better. Stylized was more visually aesthetic.
That makes sense.
But
I appreciate the accuracy. So
yeah,
that's
that's just how it is. I mean, we're getting our way with the van. We'll take our wins where we can. I still don't
uh,
understand that though. Like, Trevor was talking about it with was it Ethan Speaky Geeky?
Yeah.
He was talking about it with him, and was it that or no? Or maybe it was Nick. No, it was Nick with the Foosh. He was talking about it with Nick and Veebs, if you know his nickname. He was talking about it with him, and he was saying like that's like how he remembered it as a kid, but like nobody else seems to remember it with that hump. No one.
Yeah. Like it didn't bother me, but I mean, I am glad they're changing it. But yeah, it didn't bother me. It was what it is.
Yeah. For me, it looked like for some reason the hump made it look like a weird ice cream truck to me. I don't know why. I don't. I was okay with it. I bought it regardless. I didn't like it, but I wanted it, so it is what it is.
So I do want to talk about like my channel a little bit, but I
Nope.
do want to talk about like Super 7. Like I think my Super 7 I think my Super 7 like journey is waning down. Um I don't know, like they were hitting it out of the park with the original waves. Some little bit of quality control with like shaky legs and things like that, but and I think it was like wave 7 where I started picking and choosing. And I think they're aren't they on 9 now? Is the Casey Jones and Rat King that got taken out? Is that wave
That's 10, and then
10?
Racking got pushed to 11, I believe.
Yeah. So I bought so when whatever one with Scrag came in, I actually got rid of Scrag. I
Scratch
I didn't Scratch. No,
the,
Scrag
the
is Scratch.
scratch the
Sorry.
cat.
Scrag is the bat, Scratch is the cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got rid of Scratch. I said I didn't have this as a kid. I have no sentimental attachment to it. And I said I actually don't even care for it. So I sold it, got some decent money out of it. But like I love the Super 7 line. I think they look great, but I'm gonna pass on the Karai. I didn't have her as a kid at all. Is that a new figure anyway, or did they have
Yeah,
one?
yeah. That's a new figure. The April O'Neil's a new figure.
Yeah, I don't care for that. It doesn't do anything for me. So I'm for literally in that wave. The only thing I'm getting is the turtle. And who even is that?
It's
Oh,
Leo.
Punker. So it
Yeah, it's
looks
Rocket
amazing.
Leo.
That looks amazing.
It's incredible. It's going because it's going to be part. They're going to do the whole set with Punk. They have Punker Down coming out too.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I
you
love
know,
that.
I don't know if we really went in depth on an episode about that, but I know we kind of briefly talked about the reason to get that line was because it was nostalgic, and that's what we wanted out of a line is like take what I liked as a kid and put it into what I like now, and
Yeah, and
that's what was good.
it's almost like seeing them redone is it's how we saw them as kids. Like we
Right.
saw them as perfect figures, and so to have the updates of them, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite figures of all time. Like this is gorgeous.
Dude, it's perfect. Like that's a perfect figure. And you know what? They did a Leonardo like that when we were kids. That was like super rare. Give me a dude, just give me a Leonardo repaint. Like at that point, give me the Leonardo repaint to that because it exists. If you guys have already got the approval to do that and playmates aren't going to be dicks about it, just do it. I'll take that. But I feel the same way as you. So there's a lot of the figures that are already announced that are coming out, and I'm super worried that they're not going to come as we saw them because
Yeah.
they've been on deck for so long, and you get the updates, and they're still waiting. Some of them are just now getting approved for and like tooling is done, but like their designs just got approved. I'm like, but the designs were approved before you can market them. That's how that works. So what did you change? Like Scumbug, we all know Scumbug is coming. What did they change? And that's what's worrying me. But I agree. Like I haven't finished off the current wave. I'm only missing Leatherhead, and that's the weakest one out of the entire set because it's just no paint. It looks like shit. And I refuse to pay what I've seen $44 is the lowest price I've seen. I can't do it.
So with this wave,
Yeah,
I bought everything but the shredder. I
I'll
didn't
do the
need that.
same.
I just didn't need it. I loved everything else.
Yep, I'll do the
Um,
same. That kind of repaint I don't care about.
yeah, this wave, I got everybody except I didn't care for Fuzzy
Yeah,
Splinter, and
same.
I didn't have the neutrinos growing up, so I passed on that, and I don't know if I'm gonna regret that or not, but I mean these two look fantastic, Wingnut Screw Loose and
Incredible.
Scumbug, and that's what I want. Um, I mean Ray Fillet is fantastic. Um,
That's a
But
very
yeah,
dude. That's a very strong with the Ray Fillet one, and was that Sewer Surfing Mike Ray Fillet? Is that the one that came with Mike, or was it with the Leo the samurai? Whatever those two back to back waves were. Those were like there's some really good figures because the Scratch, the Ray, the Mikey that Sewer Surfing Mikey, yeah. So that's a tough one. So those two waves had their hits and misses. Um,
yeah,
Obviously, we didn't need that Mouser set. That's kind of a waste. I didn't buy that. I didn't buy a Mouser set. Like I don't army build those. But I bought everything else except for the Leatherhead, the weakest one. But that Mikey's a very strong figure. That Slash also very strong. I even bought the glow in the dark one coming out.
yeah. The Slash is fantastic.
And
But
they're
yeah,
they're
so
incredible.
everyone already knows this already, but they changed the Rat King head, and Rat King was honestly the one I was looking forward to the most because I have sentimental um, backings with this. My great grandma, like I just have it on hand. My great grandma, she used to like at the time I fully believed her, but she used to tell me she was terrified of this figure, and so I'd always go like, ah! And she'd like go and freak out, and like it was just core memories. And for that to have like the TMNT Shredder's Revenge head, I was like, can that be an alternate head, and we get a more close to it? And they
Yeah.
are doing alternate, they are doing the head again, but yeah, I mean, I don't need the Casey Jones repaint. Like I like it, but I don't need it, and especially with the cost of the figures, it's just time for me to start being pick and choose. Like I don't need to have every single thing.
Yeah, I,
Um,
I think another part that comes into it that people don't realize, and this is just because I study like people's like thought processes, is the posing, right? I think it would have gone over a little better if it wasn't just a standing up straight Rat King. Maybe he was crouched a little bit, looked a little more sinister because that OG Rat King looks kind of like sinister, kind of grimy, a dark character. Where the one that they showed us in promo photos, standing up straight, playing his fluke, the whatever that story is with the fucking rats. I'm blanking,
agreed.
dude. Pied,
Agreed.
yeah, the Pied Piper, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So like, we don't really remember the toy like that. So I think that's goofy. Someone in the group tried to like argue with me about that, about the head sculpt when like the creator was like, yeah, we designed it after the Shredder's Revenge. Sorry, I blanked there for a moment. And then they were trying to like argue that yeah, but the Shredder's Revenge one is based off of the cartoon or something like that. And I was like, yeah, but it's still style. Like, yeah, the Shredder's Revenge is a different style. It just is.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, give me that line of figures, but don't mix them together. I don't.
yeah,
That's
I'm
not.
in this. Yeah, I do the Super Seven Ultimates for the nostalgia, for the Playmate stuff, and with
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I know that Playmates owns the designs, is from what I've read. Um, but with the amount of money and revenue that Turtles makes, I personally believe that Viacom, Paramount, whomever, Viacom technically, should step in and be like, hey, this is here's a percent, try to get a percentage of the cut or something in there. So like, because that's the thing, right? So the line won't sell if they don't continue what the line promised. So that means no money for Super 7, no money for Viacom, or less money. I'm not saying no money, but less revenue, right?
Yeah.
That's just how that would simply be. And they're already expensive as is. People are already picking and choosing. We already see the way the line's going. They need to figure something out. And as someone that has been dealing with Viacom and like those that internal situation, they are so ass backwards with a lot of things. Hopefully, it doesn't get me in trouble. But
More of it.
it's like every big corporation. They're ass
This was like the
backwards.
start of the deviation when they had Gorilla,
Yeah.
and like I love it. I think it looks amazing. I got him, but it's like where is the what's he actually called in the Playmates version?
Oh, that's Sergeant Bananas.
Sergeant Bananas. Yeah, I have him
Yeah, but
somewhere. But yeah, it's just
yeah, Gorilla.
different.
Yeah, Gorilla was like a one-off character in like a one comic or like a pamphlet,
Hmm.
and he was supposed to be. a figure, but they couldn't. But I guess the internal conversation was you can't put that on a figure because it's guerrilla warfare, guerrilla tactics, like that kind of idea was not good for kids.
Right.
But I mean, Sergeant Banana says gorilla right across his name tag with not the animal, not the the normal animal spelling of it. So they're
Yeah.
technically the same character. But
Yeah.
would I have liked a Sergeant Bananas Ultimate over Gorilla? Of course, because he's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. You can't
Yeah.
see it because it's dark, but I have one sitting like back there in front of my
Yeah.
Xbox.
Like I said, it just feels weird that they already have variations and mixing of different. I should be able to see it. It's bright green. Oh,
Bright
there it
green
is.
and yellow.
Uh, This is great video content. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Like he's awesome.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's such.
that's so that's one of my favorite ones growing up as a kid. As you said, with like your sentimental value to your um to your Rat King. That's how I am with that with Sergeant Bananas. He was the one that I played with one of the most out of all of my toys. I love that figure growing up.
Yep. Yep.
Huge
But
fan.
yeah, so Super Seven's great. I love it. And I originally was just gonna get the four turtles and nothing else. And I was like, I'm not doing
That
that.
dude,
And
that's my exact words. I said the same thing. Now I have every figure plus all the special editions. I said I just want the four turtles. They're expensive. It's all I need. And then they fucking like sucked me in because like one of them was like $25 one day, and I was like, well,
yeah,
I might as well buy this one.
I have that party wagon coming, and I'm just.
I mean, I didn't do the party wagon. I did not. No.
Well, I will maybe my video of the unboxing of that one. I'll have you on it, and we can just go over it together. And but yeah, yeah. So Super Seven, it's. I am kind of worried about the line right now, and I shouldn't be because I wasn't even interested to begin with. But,
At the end of the day, I'll be honest with you. My favorite, my absolute favorite figure growing up as a kid was Space Cadet Raphael, and they're doing Space Cadet Raph. So
well,
for me, that's a win. As long as we get Space Cadet Raph looking like he's supposed to, I
yep.
am very happy. I'm gonna get it, and that will be the best for me personally as a collector. What I
Yeah.
like to see them kind of go into the more obscure ones. So here's what I mean by that, right? So we're getting that redo of the Fuzzy Splinter. Don't give a shit about that. We're getting that repaint of the Toon Shredder. Don't give a
Yeah.
shit about that, right?
And you have the Michelangelo Metalhead. I don't.
Like,
I think. I think they botched Metalhead to begin with. If you look at the original promo
yeah.
pictures, like it looks different. They gave him a neck, and it looks terrible. And
That was when they had one of their worst figures. I think I will agree that Metalhead was a bad figure.
like the chrome is different. It's just it was bad.
Yeah, colors
It was,
were off.
he's
But give me like random turtles ultimate versions in different in like the cavemen ones that they did, right? Or the barbarian Leo or the dwarf Donnie. Uh to my understanding, they could do those as long as the character appeared outside of the Playmates design. So if it was in a comic book or promo images or anything like that, Super 7 can make an ultimate figure based off the Playmates design. Um,
licensing is so weird, man.
it's strange, but like I would love that. Like I have the Ninja Turtles, like the Ninja Turtles 3, right? The Ninja Turtles 3 turtles with their samurai gear. Give me ultimates of those because we know those appeared elsewhere technically.
Yeah.
Um, we already got that Leo. Give us the rest of even if it's not even if it's repaints. I repainted that one. Remember the Raphael that I did? So I have a Leo
Mhm.
and a Raph. Just give us repaints of those in that colorway that they did for the Turtles 3 figures. I mean, I'll buy those. I think those are great figures. Just fix the legs. Those legs were terrible.
Yeah, one of my biggest the lists were terrible. One of my biggest things about I was like, why are we getting variant turtles already when there's so many villains they haven't even touched yet? And I feel like they're getting to the main ones now. And I was really waiting for Rat King, but I mean, there's just so many like great villains that they haven't even touched yet. And I don't know.
Dirtbag, Ground
They're,
Chuck,
yeah,
just to name
Pizza
a
Face.
couple.
I love him. I love that character.
Pizza Face is a toss up, or it's a slam dunk. Everybody would buy Pizza Face.
Yeah, make him even grosser than he was back then, and it's I love it. But they haven't even done the android body for Krang yet. You know that's coming. It has to be,
Yeah,
right?
Android. It's gotta be. It's gotta be a thing, and they'll probably do a small one because it came in both versions. You know, my assumption is just for cost they do a small one, or if they get approval, maybe they'll do like a kickstart of it, like a HasLab or something like
Yeah,
they do with that to get a big,
yeah.
get a big one.
But yeah,
So
like I'm ready for a Toka and Razor from them. Like there's just so many cool things that they haven't done yet, and
yeah,
uh,
Toka's a slam dunk too. You just use the slash body.
yep, yeah, and that's one of the things where I'd be like, yeah, I don't have a problem you reuse and stuff there, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
I agree, but I mean, I'll still take like I said, a lot of the redos, like written, Slam Dunk and Donnie is awesome.
Yeah, I
You
love it.
know, I'll give me baseball Raphael, the Grand Slam Raph or
Here's what I want.
anything,
Here's
anything.
what
Bandito Bash and Mikey, like that'd be
I
cool
need.
shit
I
too.
need this one. I need
He
this one. Mike
he's
Raps. I
they'll
need
make
this.
him. He's coming. That's gonna be
I
another one.
love, I love him so much.
Rap and Mikey will be a release. I mean, because they've got the other. Because all we have left to be announced is like that '80s hair metal Raphael, and then Rap and Mikey.
Yeah, growing up, this one was one of my favorites, and then Sewer Surfing Mike was my other favorite.
Yeah,
And
we all had those as kids. Those are some of the best.
there's a Facebook page. I don't know how active it is anymore, or Instagram page, but it's just called Sewer Surfing Mike, and it's only devoted to Sewer Surfing Mike, like fan
Yo,
art.
I saw
Like
that a couple weeks ago. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that just randomly came up on my time, like I suggested when they were just marketing shit to me. I saw that.
I mean, two of it on there. Someone did like a just a really stylized, hyper realistic version of it, and I loved it. I love it.
That's so good.
Like I kind of want to take movie Michelangelo and like make it a sewer surfing like realistic one. So nobody take that idea. I'm gonna do that now.
Yeah, I personally want to send like Sewer Surfing Mike or someone to like Does Machines on Instagram, have them repainted for me because
Yep.
I can paint that, I can repaint stuff like that, but I'd rather have one of his pieces or their
Yeah.
pieces. I want to be correct here. Um, I just want one of my collection because the work is amazing and I love that paint job. And it's hard to it's easy to do but hard to master for those out there who customize who know that
Yeah.
person's work. You can
Yeah.
do it. It's not super hard, but you got to practice.
Happy with this, but it's definitely nowhere near the quality of what it could be. I'm very happy with this. It took me like 5 hours, but I mean, their work is incredible,
Yeah.
incredible. I
For
would
all-
never, especially with even Oscar. Like Oscar's killing it, but I could never be like, yeah, I'll sell this. Like this is like, oh, there's too many imperfections, and I don't want to. If you bend it too much, the paint's gonna chip. I don't want to mess with that, and so I could never do that. And I'm really impressed with all their work.
yeah, that's some of the hard stuff, man. So like I mean, I'm gonna put Oscar on the spot because Oscar does incredible work, but him and we're always in the same boat. I feel like with a lot of things. When you buy customs or sell customs, the best thing you have to do is be clear with people. So like he does those black and white turtles off the Mirage stuff. There's no way that those joints don't rub. It's you just I've grinded them down. I've done so many things. The joints will always rub, unfortunately. So when you sell them to people, if you ever like sell stuff like that or anybody listening,
Be done.
scared about their work, that's something you should definitely take into consideration. One thing that I've been doing here's a hot tip that I haven't told anybody yet. I don't know if it's gonna be able to come up on camera very well, but so I've been doing this. I did the set of blue turtles,
I love it.
and obviously these are the same situation where the paint would chip, and I don't know if you can pick it up in camera. Can't really. But so the hinge, it's pretty much the joints, right? So we're talking about joints here. So you can't really tell the difference here, right? So what I did was I painted these guys blue using this color Vallejo. Vallejo paints are incredible. You can pick them up in most hobby shops. It's like I think this was like $5, $4 for this little guy, right? But then I also use a lot of Citadel paints, and there's this new paint that I've been using called contrast paints. It's more oily. It's not acrylic, and the idea behind it is if you paint something white, if it's white and you want to paint over it, it will go on like a normal color. But if there's black, it won't paint over the black. It will just darken the black. So
Huh.
if you saw so the Rogue Derelict Last Ronin they released, I did a shredder in the same color scheme. All I did was I hit it with red. this stuff in red. Like that's straight up all I did was use a red version of this. Here it is. This red stuff. And it just paints over it perfectly. So what I did with the joints is I used this. It's called Citadel Paint's contrast paint. This is about $8 for one of these. Got to shake it up. Very, very like watery, very liquidy. But you blast that into joints. If your color's kind of close, usually it's a little bit darker. You blast that into a joint, and it's not acrylic. It more or less stains the plastic. You're working. You're doing well. And for your yellow, man, they do yellow. So it's worth checking out for all the customizers out there. It's a nice pro tip.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to have a conversation with you about like Citadel. So I'm using it's better than just like crappy acrylics, but they're not like crazy expensive.
Yeah, don't customizers out there, don't use this stuff. Don't use Craft Smart. I will admit, I bought this gray one the other day because I needed gray, and I just happened to have been at Walmart. This gray actually covers for some reason. But all the like the base acrylics, white acrylics and stuff, right? You're supposed to I think you're supposed to put paint thinner in them. I don't know that stuff, but the paint sucks. It's too oily. It doesn't stick. If you are a customizer out there, I'm telling you right now, spend the extra money. A small one's like $4. One coat. Don't need to prime it. You don't need to sand it. Nothing. Just put paint on it.
Huh.
That's it. That's all you need to do. There's no bullshit.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
That's the way to do it. This one coat. No, like just.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
It's just one. Yeah, I don't like to show it off because I hate the.
Did you dye the coat or the?
I did. Also? I dyed it, and then it didn't work very well. So then I started to dry brush it to try to make it look a little more ghost-like. It's like Toon Spirit of Splinter. I'm not proud of it. So
I like it.
It just sits there.
I like it. But yeah, so
let's talk about your channel.
So we relaunched the channel. We had a pretty good following. We want to obviously get better. We were averaging like thousands of hours logged a month, and we need to get back into the algorithm. So we're being patient. But we started doing some shorts, and we did one of the Easter Pepsi video, and that took off pretty well. So we're going to keep doing some shorts, and so look forward to that. If you want to kind of just see what we're doing, look for our shorts, and you can kind of get a feel for it. But there's three main projects that outside of toy reviews. So I do my Ninja Turtles, Ty does Transformers, so we kind of hit two different audiences with that, and we both have pretty good followings with that. Nothing impressive, but pretty good followings.
As long as you're happy is what matters. Like that's genuinely what it is.
Yeah, I'm having so much fun. Like if I could have this take off and I can quit my job, I'll be so happy. But in the meantime, I just love it.
Yeah, we had 75 people tune into our live. So it's 75 people watch our live stream last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. And like I was freaking out. I'm like I was expecting one or two people maybe that really cared. We had 75 people concurrent. I was like, this is like I was so hyped. And the numbers just keep growing. So I appreciate that. As long as you're having fun with it, man.
Yeah, the fact that anyone wants to hear me talk about stuff makes me happy. But yeah, so we have three major things that we are probably more that we go into. But one is a really fun series that we do, and I want to implement it with you and J Bob and things like that. But it's called Drawing a Blank, and Ty and I will pick some random character that my wife Lindsay has probably never seen, and we describe it to her, and she has to draw it, and then at the end we compare her drawing to the actual drawing, and it's all on iPad, so you get to see it in process happening, and but that's a lot of fun.
We talked about that months ago when we did this. Literally, when we did our first episode with you, you were the first episode, and you were relaunching your page back then, and we talked about doing something like that. We need to figure that out. I don't do it. I'm not. You guys have your iPads. I use a Surface Laptop Studio. Yeah. So I mean, it's all Windows based. I'm sure we could figure something out where where I can plug my stuff in. Maybe people can deal with some bad audio from me for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'll plug a mic in. I could screen share my sketchbook while we're drawing, and we can figure it out that way. I don't know, man. I want to do it. People listening, like I really want to do that.
Yeah.
I love the idea. It just sounds goofy as hell. And at the end of the day, what I think really works with that is you can see where an amazing image starts, because nothing is like you throw pen to paper, you've got your perfect image. There's hours of work that go into that a lot of the time. So I think it's an
Yeah.
inspiring idea.
I also started, I can't wait to just be silly with that, and I was talking also last time I was on the show, but like having like a paint and sip thing where somebody's leading the thing and we're all just following along with what they're doing. I think it'd be so much fun. It could be a live stream too, and everybody could share the. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so another thing that we do a lot of taste test stuff, and we just got a great idea. We're gonna go to you probably don't have a Jungle Jim's market, but we're going to a Jungle Jim's market, and it's like a exotic, like you can get anything, like foods from around the world and things like that. But we're gonna take like $20 each and just try to find the most random thing ever, and come back and do a taste test. But another thing we're really proud of is, and this is like a labor intensive show that we do, but we do a show called What Happened, and it's a 5 part episode show where we're basically playing a game of telephone while watching a movie. So we'll start a movie, 2 people, and we'll start the movie, watch it, and then like a quarter of the way through, we'll bring someone else in. We tell them what happened so far, and then they watch. So then halfway through the movie, someone else comes in. That second person has to tell what we told them and what they saw and give it to the next person, and they have to go throughout the whole thing until the very end, where someone watches probably 15 minutes of a movie and has to explain the entire thing of what happened. And it's like the game of telephone. It's a jumbled mess. So it's always really funny. But yes, that's something we're really proud of. If
You should
you
do
are,
that with Bollywood films. Have
oh
watch
my
like a
god,
random Bollywood film, like some
that'd
action
be
film.
so much fun.
So a guy
We did,
slid underneath a semi truck on a horse. Like trying to explain that shit to somebody.
and you have like the ones where like the lady gets slapped and she spins around, and all of a sudden she gets choked by the curtains and
Dude,
dies. And
dude,
that's always great.
Bollywood stuff is so funny and so
Yeah.
entertaining at the same time.
But yeah, the one I'm most proud of with that is it's called Black Christmas. It was the most recent remake of that movie, and it was absolutely god awful. And so it's a good time making fun of it. But yeah, so we're just a bunch of friends hanging out and doing things and things that we would do anyway. So it's just like we're gonna record it, and it's I think it's really interesting. So, but yeah, I love it. Like you said, I love it. I do it for fun, and people like it, and I'm excited when they like it. So, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If I could do it full time, I would drop everything I'm doing right now. All the years of college and hard work I did. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna full time make Ninja Turtle videos.
Dude, fucking tell me about it. Yeah, I've all those years of college for me. Then working at a technology company, and it's like I'm
Yep.
just gonna make some turtle videos. I don't care about my 401k.
Yeah, like just let's just do this. But yeah,
Who needs a 401k and free healthcare? I'm just gonna make turtle videos on the internet.
yeah, that's the thing. Also, I follow on YouTube. His name's RGT85. He's like the
Yeah,
most real. Have you watched him at all?
yeah. Honestly, I hate his personality. I know who he is.
I I I would hate his personality, but for some reason he's infectious. But yeah, he had some medical issues, and
I saw.
he had insurance, and that was like I'm just like, oh god, I guess I do have it pretty good that I have. I mean, when my wife had kids, uh, we had twins. We were there for a week, and we didn't pay a dime. And I'm like, yeah, I guess insurance is pretty pretty nice.
Yeah, dude. Like that's the part that sucks, man. Like it's that weird. So we're gonna get a little personal on this part. I know we're talking about your channel. This I think it's good. I think it's good to talk about. So I'm gonna be 36 next month. How old are you? You're the same age as me, right?
38, yeah.
38.
About.
So I'm gonna be 36 in a month, and I hit that part of my life where it's like you start to kind of get self-aware of life, and you're like, do I really want to like keep doing what I'm doing as a profession, and because it's responsible, or
Yeah.
do you want to take the risk? Do you want to try to do something that you have fun with? Do you want to enjoy what you're doing for work?
Yeah.
And it's been like an existential crisis, and I personally I think that's what's been contributing to my depression episodes that I keep having. is like that. Like you start to think about it, it's like, man, like I hate my job. I don't enjoy what I do. I'm at that point where I dread going into work as in sitting right here every goddamn day, because I work from home. But like, I'm thinking about all these great things that Tom Bolaires does, and like he's one of my best friends, and I see all the he's super grateful that he was able to do this at age like 40 and just switch careers, and now he's doing all this awesome stuff.
Yeah.
But then like you think about it, and like Tom's got a lot going for him, and I'm just like I'm the partner in crime that's just the mouth of the brand. Um, but like I can't like drop what I'm doing and do something like that, because like for me it's like, yeah, that the moment you don't have health care or insurance, what the hell? So like you got to like, sometimes you got to take a few dicks to the face to make sure that you're taking care of your family. Like that's just how it is, and that's how it feels
Yeah.
like when I clock into work every day. Just dildos hit me across the face every which way, just trying to get my work done. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I like my job, but it's very intensive, and I'm not gonna go into what that is, but
yeah,
it's very intensive and long hours, and it definitely like kills my free time to do this kind of stuff, and but I love it, and um, I love it, and like I said, I don't know, it would if it like took off and I had like 2 million followers, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. Like I would definitely consider something. I would figure it out, or at least I would just stay on the same schedule and hire an editor because
right.
it takes so long. I love it. I love it. It's very peaceful. But so I was a wedding photographer at one point, and it was really cool because um, you shoot a wedding, you get like 3 grand for a day's work, and it's technically not. You have to do all the editing, but I just sit on the couch and we watch movies, and I'm editing photos, and it was great, and that was all fun play money. But with video editing, you have to be locked in. You have to tune out the world around you so you can hear everything, and so that's the bad part.
You have to
As
watch
much
your content multiple times while you're editing, just figuring it out, which you don't know. Everybody knows I don't really do a ton of editing on these episodes, but uh, yeah, I mean, I've edited before, and that's why I
yeah,
try to do these in like one shot. Me personally,
yeah,
you got all the editing, man. I just got a template. I built a template. I plug it in, add some photos every once in a while, do some fades.
yeah,
Good.
but you get yours is different though. Like yours is you have like the whole setup, everything like that. I have to. I am so my anxiety is so bad with it. I'm just like everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be
Yeah.
perfect, and I have to, and it's never perfect, but yeah, I love just being able to do like subtle jokes that people aren't going to notice all the time unless you watch it more than once, which is whatever too. But yeah, I just I do get joy out of it. And if I was going to hire someone, they'd have to like say I'd have to say watch my videos. I want it just like this.
Check out
Because
Fiverr, man. But I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. We are old dudes at this point to some people.
yeah. I like I said, like it's too late to switch careers like actively. I couldn't just be like, I'm doing this, screw my other job, I'm doing this. But um, like I said, if something like if it takes off and it's something I definitely would consider, like, hey, where are we at? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
If I was to say this is what I want my job to be, and I'd probably be happier, is that I would genuinely say I would go to Viacom and be like, let me be your marketing guy. Let me make some of the decisions on your marketing plans, and approve, you know, campaigns and come up with campaign ideas and help
yeah,
the Turtles brand. Right. That's what like that would be like kind of my dream job. Work that I know. I studied marketing in college. I studied graphic design in college. I know a lot of that stuff. I help Tom out on the daily when it comes to his stuff. That's and Turtles I like. And if it was up to me to like make sure Turtles stays relevant, and just gets out there still, and more people spend money on the brand, that
yep,
that's how I would be. That's just something I'd like to do. And like as we talked about earlier, one of the decisions would be like that whole Playmates thing with Super 7, because like that's just squashing it. I mean, that's squashing Super 7, and that's dropping the hype, and that's less money revenue for all parties.
I mean, and let's be real, like Turtles need some good marketing help and they need some good people making decisions because, um, like let's say let's say Star Wars is up here. Like Star Wars is all hype. Everyone knows Star Wars. Everyone knows the basic premise of it. Then you have like the MCU below that, and that's like big time stuff. But like Batman is like probably like the most well known of all the superhero things, and but it's like you can either get really deep into it or just be surface level. And I feel like Ninja Turtles is below that. But like there's so many things they'd be doing. Like I know there's a Last Ronin game coming out. There's like rumor like that, but like it has to be done by the right person. Like you have to make these decisions and like give it to the Arkham Asylum people who made the Arkham Asylum games. Like those are fantastic. Say, hey, make a Ninja Turtles game.
they're
It,
they're too busy fixing their abomination right now. They don't have time. Of
but
was it the
but like
Suicide Squad
kill the bat or kill the Justice League. Yeah.
or whatever? The game is looks like
Yeah.
trash, but
Um, but like, why are we not doing mature movies and kids movies? Like the audience is there. Like Batman, you have the Batman cartoons and you have the Batman movies that are meant for adults. I have a huge Batman fan, my 8 year 7 year old, and I can't even show him Batman the original '89. Like I'm like, oh, you can't watch this yet. Like you gotta
yeah.
wait till you're like 10 or something. But it's like, why aren't we at that level yet with Ninja Turtles? Like, why are we not like have the kid content that I'm gonna dive into for sure? Like Mutant Mayhem, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that. I know that's made for kids. I cannot wait. But like, I also want to see a Batman '89 style version or a 1990 Ninja Turtles movie done again.
Yeah.
Obviously, they tried that and it didn't work, but
Well,
um,
it's not the thing with the Turtles movies is it's not about the action and I mean that's what people expect nowadays because of the way movies are. The MCU, the DCU, the Transformers stuff that Michael Bay did. Hence why we got two Bay films.
yep.
That's what people go to like kind of watch now, and it's unfortunate. It's we do, but for the fans, the Turtles fans specifically, you've got that demographic. You probably aren't going to pull in a lot of outside demographic. But like all we want is like story and characters. That's really it. We don't need all the crazy turtles jumping down buildings like they did in the Bay films. Like they could just barrel
Well,
roll over cars if we need to. Like it's fine. Like that's more
I know,
realistic.
I know you're not an MCU fan, but like Guardians of the Galaxy is the
Oh,
perfect template for Ninja Turtles. Like
I love
you have,
I love Guardians.
yeah, you
I love the
have the
Guardians.
relationships, you have the action, but like you need to establish how these brothers love and hate each other at the same time and like they get on each other's nerves. Like you have to like Guardians of the Galaxy is the perfect template for Ninja Turtles. It really is.
Yeah. So
And
I'm
they seem
I'm a Tarantino fan. I love Quentin Tarantino, and the
to,
part that so I'm not a movie guy either. So everybody knows I genuinely don't watch movies because I feel like it's a waste of time. That's my personal belief. But when I watch like I play video games, that's my time waster. And if I'm gonna watch TV, I'm watching like National Geographic. I've established that multiple times. But when I like Tarantino films because if you have a 90-minute film, right? You've got 70 minutes of story and character talking and build up, and then you've got just 20 minutes at the end, just all balls to the wall. Everything just comes together. People are getting shot. Action's happening. And then you tie the story in. I feel like that's how all Tarantino films are. You got a
Mhm.
lot of beautiful dialogue, a lot of like engagement of the story, kind of like with the Mandalorian. Mandalorian is a lot of dialogue, a lot of context with like
Mhm.
a payoff at the end.
Yep.
I like stuff like that. That's how I feel about the Turtles, the first 1990 movie. Is there's so much just not real action, a lot of
Yeah.
talking, a lot of character buildup, and that's what I want. That's what I personally want. And I think that Viacom looks at we tried the R-rated idea, or we tried the mature version, and no one gave a shit, which was the Michael Bay films, which to their credit is true, but also those designs killed it in the first place.
The writing was on the wall as soon as as soon as Michael Bay announced they were aliens, and then they switched that. But like that was clear indication that they don't know what Ninja Turtles is,
Yeah.
and that was what killed it. Like I still never seen them to this day. I've not. I'm
But
going to. I'm gonna do a review of it, but I've not watched them yet.
they're not bad. They're not as bad as people make them out to be.
They're
The
just
second one's definitely much better, but they're very dude, it honestly just felt like they threw the Ninja Turtles in the Transformers universe. It really did, and it really bothered me. Um, some of like the camera angles and the film choices. I'm just Brandon didn't want to hear what I was talking about. He just up and left.
Hate
Uh,
that stuff.
um, what I was saying was they just put him in a bad they put it in a bad position, and I know they backtracked on what you're saying with the aliens, but their backtrack was that the ooze, the mutagen, was of alien origin, and that's where the ooze came from that transformed them, which is what explained Dimension X and Krang and all that stuff, which is canon. But saying that they were like they were just I'm not saying loose lipped, but they were just wrong with some of the things that they had said. They shouldn't have said
Yeah.
them the way they did.
Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a foot soldier, and that just kills me. I've
Yeah.
got I've got this great idea for a photo, and I'm just gonna tell you because it's probably never gonna happen. But I have this idea of like all the great foot soldiers just like beating this guy up. Like,
Yeah, like the cartoon had robot foot soldiers because they don't want them killing people. Just put robot foot soldiers. Like it's a Michael Bay film. He knows robots. You know what I mean? Like just have people dressed up as a better foot soldier, and but they're robots. Then they could lose limbs or like with post. Edit it in post. Like just do that. That was just like fucking what do they call them? Like a Secret Service guy. Like that's all their foot soldiers were. They're just mercenaries. That's what it was. They're like a fucking paid for hire mercenary group. It's not.
yep, yep,
I didn't
I
like
agree.
it. I give them credit where credit's due, but they definitely screwed them up.
Yep.
So watch them and
Uh,
report back. I'll definitely be interested in what you say.
yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it with my kid because my kid is freaking hilarious. So I'm probably gonna have it like he'll be loving it, and I'll just be making fun of it, and it'll be a good time. So
Yeah, the Bay films have a place. Like they have a place. I'm not gonna say they shouldn't exist. It's like the third movie has a place.
yeah,
But I'd
yep.
love to see that third movie. All right, I know we gotta wrap this up, but that third
We only
movie, I've said it before. That third movie, remake the third movie, because all that third movie had going wrong with it were the animatronics, the shitty
the
costumes,
right.
and the low budget recording, the low budget angles, the low budget film they used, the low budget um, uh, camera shots, whatever they decide, whoever directed it, that was all low budget. That's a good film if they shot it right.
Disagree, but
The story makes sense.
I just I'm still bummed that movie 2 didn't go the android or the Krang the Utrom route with Professor Perry. Like that would have been such a cool reveal. Like even at the last scene, all of a sudden he's like takes his shirt and there's like an Utrom in there, and then like that would have been so cool. Like I
Yeah,
was the that, and then movie 3 could have been an Utrom invasion. That would have been so cool. That's what we need now. Like give us Mirage style storylines, kill Shredder off, and then bring him back with the worms and everything. Like it's just let's get that going. I'm
yeah.
ready for that.
Even if we know the story, like the Last Ronin, it's fine. We still want to see it in movie form. People knew the story from the comic book, and they still made the 1990 movie. It's the
Yep.
same thing. It's the first comic, so
Yep.
I'm totally game with that. I did say something in the group the other day where um, people that say we deserve a mature movie shows that we don't deserve a mature movie. That kind of mindset, because that is a negative and toxic mindset to have. I think that we're going to get one in the last Ronin, based on what was like talked about outside the video game. I think the game is also going to be they're going to release the game and the show or movie at the same time, because the last Ronin will have an adaptation in some kind of video media form, whether it's animation, cartoon, CG. So I think they're going to do something like that. And I think they're going to do episodic for a miniseries, is what I was told.
Yeah, I would love to have that. I would love to have like an HBO Max style show. But but yeah, like Pie in the Sky, a TV show would be amazing. Have it be, I mean, I don't, you have to have the budget and all that, but yeah, do it like Game of Thrones. Just make it a show that everyone's like Game of Thrones made all that old school. What am I thinking of? Fairy tale. Like they made that like cool, and it's like if
Yeah.
you do the show right, you could like Ninja Turtles could be like you're watching a show about dragons. Like normally that's like the jocks will make fun of the nerds talking about dragons, but everyone watched Game of Thrones, and you could do that with turtles. Get everybody invested. Like yeah, they're walking humanoid turtles, but the show's good. Like
You only need one
yeah,
for the Ronin. You only need the
yeah.
one, you know? And I mean, they could do the rest of them in CG if they
Yeah,
need
I'd love
to.
to see the backstory though. I'd love to see some kind of build up to and like have flashbacks, even besides just like their deaths. Like I would love to see.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, but
Yeah, Paramount's got the money. Mandalorian saves millions of dollars not having to build sets by using Unreal, using that camera rig system on the white background. You don't even have to build sets. Put your budget into like your into costumes if you need to, and just go from there. And also like that's just a big buff turtle. Just use the same tech they did with the Bay films. CG it on. Like that'd be fine with that. If you're doing the one turtle, I'd be fine with them CGing it on. Everybody else is acting.
yep,
So
yep.
there's a lot they can do, man. But I mean, I'm hoping. I do know that they were working. They were trying to get something going. Um, when I talked to Kevin in September. So
Well, let's hope for the best.
who
All
knows?
right, sorry to make you talk so long.
It's fine. It's fine. I think we talked a lot. So anything else before we just say go like, subscribe, and watch your shit?
No, just thanks for being a partner with me and love it and hanging out and sharing my crap. So I appreciate it.
Sharing your crap. Yeah. Well, it's always a pleasure. For people that don't know, Brandon and I talk a lot all the time, regardless, like off of video. So hopefully we're able to entertain you with our conversation today because it's easier to have conversations when you don't talk a lot.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But we talk a lot offline, so
yeah.
just how it
Just
is.
texting and sharing memes and dumb videos. So
Dude, fucking memes, man. It's you, Oscar, and then I have a group chat. And then and my sister. All memes. All memes all the time.
yep.
So
I'm a meme lord, Mama. Thank you. I'm a meme lord.
all right. Well, I appreciate everyone for joining us. Brandon, thank you again as always. It's we're going to enjoy this beautiful Sunday. And because we're recording on a Sunday. And we'll go from there. We got some more episodes coming up with other fun people. So we'll get those recorded here soon and yeah, fun. Thank you everyone.
All right.
Peace.